see, Jessica, what she wanted to narrow in on was this word combative. That's what she tried to make it pretend like this was going to be a flag she was going to raise for all the black women. First of all, Jessica and Janelle, I don't need you to fight for me as a black woman. I really don't, because you cannot fight for me and then also be part of the problem. Let me say it. You cannot fight for me on the stage of, calling black women overly aggressive, but also being the one that's a perpetrator of it. Because I actually do believe that Janelle is absolutely combative. She's overly aggressive and she's confrontational. And I'm going to say about Jessica that Jessica is confrontational. She absolutely is. And she is argumentative. That's what I'm going to say. Now, she might want to sit here and she might want to go back and forth over the word combative, but she wanted to stick on that word because she didn't want to have the broader discussion about the fact that she's confrontational and she's argumentative. So she wanted to keep it on the word combative. She acts like she's just defending herself on the word combative, but no, Jessica's trying to defend herself over the whole image that she's confrontational, she's argumentative, and this other word combative. She is. And the reason why she got so upset about it was because she's heard it before. She's heard it before. She acts like Chris is the only person that's ever called her that. That's not true. That's not true. Plenty of people in Jessica's life have called her these words or surrounding these words. They probably called her argumentative. They called her confrontational, and some people have called her combative. They've all said that about her. But now she wants to sit on this show and act like it's all about one word, combative. No, it's not. That's the word she wanted to stick with so she didn't have to address the real issues. She didn't have to address the real issues. Because what Chris should have done was, when he called her combative and she had a problem with it, what he should have done was he should have said, you know what? If you want me not to use the word combative, I'll drop the word combative. But the problem I have with you is you are confrontational and you're argumentative, so we can talk about that now. But what his pride wouldn't let him do, what Chris's pride wouldn't let him do was come off that word combative. He should have backed up off of it, because not backing off of it didn't let him get to the bigger point. And the bigger point is Jessica's attitude. She got a big attitude. She got a problem. And it was nothing wrong with Chris calling out the problem and saying he didn't want it for his life. But what he let Jessica do was he let Jessica control the conversation, control it all about the word combative, and that's where he lost it. He lost everything. If he would have kept the conversation on a broader discussion that whether you want to call yourself combative or not, I'm going to say you're confrontational, you're argumentative, and I don't want to be with you, period. And you know why I'm going to say Jessica is confrontational, argumentative? Because I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you another reason why I know she is. Because when Chris was in that lounge and he used the word she's combative, then Messi Marie got up there and said some of people in the lounge and inflamed it and said some, as if it was more than one. Some people in the lounge, I think you are combative. And then after it was all over, you had mean girl Jessica and mean girl Janelle sit up there and hold court. She lined up those men. She lined up Quinton. They lined up Marie. They lined up Chris. And then Phil was over there on the side rubbing Eris's feet. And let me tell you, they said to all those three of them, and they lined them up like schoolboys. And they said, which one of you said it? First of all, that's confrontational. That's confrontational. Because what they were doing is they want to hit it head on. They want to confront you. That's confrontational. Which one of you said it? See, they didn't want to just discuss it broader, right? They just didn't want to have the broader discussion and say, hey, I don't know who said I was combative or confrontational, but I want to address the point. That's what they could have done. They could have just addressed the point, and they could have addressed it in front of everybody. Because even though all those men didn't use the word combative, which they didn't, I'm going to tell you right now, they all know that Jessica is confrontational or she's argumentative. They all know it. They all know it. So if she really wanted to clear the air and really wanted to clear her name, she should have addressed it to the group and said, you know what? I know there was some talk about me being combative, but I just want to tell everybody here, that is not who I am. It's not who I want to be. But no, Jessica wanted to confront who she felt was her accuser. And I'm not saying that she doesn't have a right to do it if she wants to, but I'm going to tell you who else has a right. I have a right if I said it. I have a right that I don't have to get no confrontation with you. So I was on Chris's side when people said, well, Chris didn't stand up and admit he was the one that said it. Because you know what? I don't have to get no confrontation with you. I don't owe you nothing. I don't. I don't owe you anything. I don't owe you. If I'm in a lounge and someone is asking, why don't we want, who is your least favorite connection? And I say it's Jessica. And I say I think it's Jessica because I find Jessica to be combative with me. And I'm not interested in being with her. And then we get to the open area. And now that person comes and says, I want to address the person who said this about me. I want to address you head on. And now all of a sudden I'm weak because I'm the one that doesn't want to get in no fight with you sitting up here. No, I'm not going to do it. You're not going to sit up here and hem me up in no corner when I know your history and coming for me and coming for my neck. Absolutely not. Not going to happen. And the reason why I know that that's confrontational is because that's what they was looking for. Because if you just want to address the issue, just address it. You don't need to know who exactly said it. You don't need to know that. If you're here to clear your name, clear your name. But she wanted a confrontation. She wanted an argument with a specific person. She did. She wanted to have a combative moment with one person. That's what I'm telling you. So even though he used the word combative, and maybe people don't agree with it, Jessica's not, people want to say Jessica's direct. Yes, she's direct. She's direct because she likes confront. She ain't afraid of it. She don't walk away from it. She runs to it. That's the difference, and that's what I'm talking about. What stays in the lounge is supposed to stay in the lounge. That's supposed to be the rules. The lounge is supposed to be a safe space for you to say what you want to say without having to walk out the four doors of that lounge and then be attacked for your opinions. That's what they say the lounge is, a safe space. That's like being at work and them having an anonymous survey and you fill it out and then your boss comes to you talking about, I want to know who put this on the survey. I want to know. Would you admit it? Would you admit it? No, because when I said it, I thought I was in a safe space. Come to find out I'm not. And now you think I'm going to come out here and tell you I was the one that wrote that on the survey? Hell to no. I'm not going to say it. I don't care if somebody think that makes me like a punk. No, the rules were changed on me. I thought I could be open and honest and talk about my true feelings. Then you got Messy Marie coming out here telling it to the whole group. And now all of a sudden I'm the punk because I don't admit that I'm the person that says it. No, I don't feel no obligation to get in no fight with nobody because I said something that was supposed to be said in a safe space. No, I'm not saying nothing either. I'm just like Chris. But let me tell you, Chris didn't like that. Chris didn't like the fact that here is Janelle and Jessica lining them up as men. They lined those men up like little boys and said to them, I want to know who said it. It's like you lining up all your kids, trying to figure out who was the one that broke the thing. Who was the one that broke the table? Who broke the table? Line them up. Who broke the table? That's what they was doing. That's what they were doing. Like they lorded over these men. Like they the one that's in charge. Even Janelle got up there and said, well, I'm going to handle this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. She loves it. She loved every bit of it. Even after Jessica didn't go home and it ended up being Sierra the one that going home, what did she do? Let me add another term, defiant. She sat up there and said, boss, tough, combative. Let's put it all on the table. That right there, that little attitude right there, that's another sign. That's another sign. I don't know why Jessica don't see herself. Jessica does not see herself. And what she's going to keep doing is she's never going to look at what she actually needs to change about herself. And she's going to always blame the other person. She's going to stand on some firm ground right now with Chris because Chris opened the door for it because like I said, he showed his raw ass. She's going to stand on some firm ground to be able to talk about the fact that when you talk about someone losing it and being out of their sorts, she's going to have some good evidence on Chris. And what's going to get lost in all of this is who she is at her core. Just like Chris said, at her core, she is who she is. But she played him so well. And in the end, that's what I'm telling you, the Mean Girls won again. Another one for the Mean Girls. And like I said, when Jessica or Janelle gets tired of you, you going home. You going home. Because the truth of the matter is, I don't even know why Messy Marie is still here. Why is he still here? Because even Jessica says she don't even trust Marie. She don't trust him one bit. But yet he's still here. Jessica says she felt blindsided. It was a turnoff. Girl, why are you blindsided? You shouldn't be blindsided. You've heard this from men your whole life. That's why she was triggered. Let me tell you, you do not get this upset when you only heard things one time. If you weren't a person who's heard this multiple times in your life and somebody called you combative, you would actually be shocked. You would be like, oh, wow, you called me combative? Why would you? You should seek to understand how someone came to this opinion about you when you've never heard it before. But the reason why Jessica didn't seek to understand and she immediately sought to defend herself was because she's heard it before and she's tired of hearing it. She's tired of hearing it, but instead of changing, what she wants to do is she wants to stop people from saying it. So that's what she went to. Now what she's done is instead of changing it about herself, what she's decided is every time somebody calls her that, she's going to confront them on it. She doesn't want to change herself. She wants to change the way people see her. No, the way you change the way people see you, you change the way that you are showing up in the world. That's how you really change the way people see you. You change the way you're showing up in the world, but that's not what Jessica wants to do. Jessica wants to shut you up. Jessica wants to tell you to shut your mouth. Don't say it again. And by you saying it, it's against all us black women. No, no, no. Because you know what, Jessica? I never really had nobody ever call me combative. Never. I don't need you to stand up for me, Jessica, because I know how to control myself. I do. No one's ever called me combative. Never. The word, never ever in my life have I been called, you're so combative. Absolutely not.